Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ESL One Katowice 2019 qualifiers. 29, that would be different. We are back for more action here in SEA. We've already rounded out day one, and now we need to begin day two. There's plenty of action. We've got one best of three, and it's a best of five with a one game advantage for the upper bracket winner, which of course was Lotac.
Yep. And
we have already got a match. We're already in the draft. Of course, I'm Killer Pigeon, in case you forgot. I know you guys sometimes have short-term memories, and there's plenty of Admiral Bulldog memes around. And of course, we've got Kips here. She's ready to lead you through the intricacies of TNC, because they did stay in this game. Because they are now going to face up against Detonator again.
Yep, it's the rematch.
And yesterday, that was quite the upset for TNC. It was a 2-1 loss for them.
2-1 loss, yeah. They swept the first game really easily, and then tough second game, and I want to say a total collapse in game 3. So let's see if they can do better today.
Calm reflection and silence in a room with tears in their eyes would have made them think about what they could do better and open up this draft. They're looking a lot more secure if we get to... There we go. I was like, it's going to load. We're going to have it, folks. It's all good. And we finally do. But yeah, as you can see already, the opener, well, both sides getting filthy picks, right? You've got the Brewmasters in high demand on one side. Lich is like, we don't talk about that. Then there's Dazzle and Anti-Mage, the infamous mid face-up yesterday.
Yeah, but this time it's both on the same side. And I think that they might run that Dazzle core again. And I do want to point out, by the way, that TNC has very wisely banned the Sand King. We saw both Sam H and RR yesterday perform brilliantly on that hero. And they're just like, no, we're not going to deal with that anymore. No flexibility for you. Give us something else.
Definitely well identified there. Of course, other than that, we do see more typical bans. Magnus, especially, a hero that never gets through at the moment. Mainly because every pro player in existence is complaining about the fact that it's a free Battle Fury on a hero. They can give it to multiple heroes.
Yeah, and with the advantage that IG cores have right now, you don't need them to also get their Battle Fury for free. That's just ridiculous.
Small details. It doesn't matter. You know? It's like, what's he gonna do with it? Farm?
Only for like 15 minutes.
And then murder you, but you know, who cares? This is come on, Kips. This is the meta of Wraith Bands. Alright, and braces. You don't need these big items. You finish the game by 20 minutes, but bam. Good to go. And looking at these picks, we aren't going to see too much early aggression. Detonator is definitely focusing out these kind of mid-game ramp-up heroes, such as a Slark and the Pugnum, that should be able to take control of the map around the 20-25 minute mark.
I'm actually surprised to see only the Slark ban as like targeting the big carries. I feel like if you've got that anti-mage, you can still get out-carried by a lot. And they picked it up so early. Like, I feel like... I know the Slark is probably the best matchup against the anti-mage, but there's gonna definitely be others out there.
There's definitely a decent amount of choices. You could, for example... we've seen the Terrorblade. There it is. Comes through. Just on time, conveniently.
I was about to go there, but...
It's the most obvious matchup we keep seeing a lot of, and it's like everyone assumes that Terrorblade falls behind, he's not going to be fine, Anti-Mage will out-farm him, but the difference is Terrorblade can get active, involved in fights, and pushes much earlier than an Anti-Mage can, and much less gold.
Yeah, and he has these very nice power spikes around the Metamorphosis that are going to coincide very well with the Brewmaster ults. So once every 2 minutes, TNC is going to just claim a tower, and I don't think Detonator has anything to do against that right now.
They can run away. That is definitely an option.
Extra fast.
Yeah, very, very fast.
Anime style with the two.
No speed thresholds, so why not go as fast as you want? Maybe we see something cute from Detonator. Maybe we see the Spirit Breaker.
Oh, that would be fun, a full speed lineup. But... no, we were, like, I said that there was this problem with, you know, they can get active around the spikes. We've seen Darkseer, and especially Sam H Darkseer. I was praising him yesterday for his good rotations with Helm of Dominator. And I'm sure that we're going to see him make as much space as possible for that anti-mage again.
Absolutely, there's a possibility. Of course, in that game they had the Sand King to combine it with, which was a pretty potent combo. They're going to need something in place. I still kind of like the Spirit Breaker here. You're dealing with fairly squishy heroes that would be frustrated by the disruption you bring. Then Disrupt is appearing, right?
I don't think it's a good pick anymore now.
Not so
It's like
much.
high cow, buy cow.
You got here fast, you'll leave faster.
Is did you see the Matuma Man moment where it's like, oh no, bro, don't do it?
No.
But he just TP'd into the mid tower, and then a disruptor with haste wanders in, and it's like, no, bro,
No,
don't do it. And just this silence as he plop
Just a tear in
appears
his
in the
eye.
fountain. Yes. There were definitely tears. Like days later, he told me about this, and he was still stuck on that moment.
The difference from Marta, it doesn't give up there. There's certain people that might drag their items out of their inventory.
Yeah, no, he just silently sloshed his way back. A walk of shame down the mid lane.
TNC, they kind of silently sloshed away in this one. You know, they struck back. They're back in the mix, and so far this lineup.
I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that they have both the Disruptor and the Lich. There's no secondary initiator here. So normally you would have, especially like, I know Tim's likes Disruptor, but it's not quite his natural fit. He wants a bit more of a brawler. I would actually have liked something like an Earth Spirit more, just because that suits him as a person. Whereas both these supports are very defensive, kind of fragile. Neither of them really ramps up. Like the Disruptor has this one big bump at the Aghanims, but that's about it. So I feel like that is a little bit of a mismatch between the heroes and the team's playstyle.
I think it's not just that, it's like the displacement of gold right now. It's like, I'm looking at this in TNC, the Brewmaster will be active pretty often. The Lich and Disrupt aren't really going to take up much gold. They're not going to absorb anything here. So you've given a crap ton of space for your Terrorblade to farm, but I'm not sure he can exploit that much. You're going to need someone else that's going to be a little bit greedy for your final pick in the mid.
Yeah, well, it really opens up for Armel to play anything, he feels like. But I do want to avoid a second double assassin scenario where both of them have a game-winning core and both of them sort of vie with the other for the game-winning play.
Well, that's doing the same job. That's different, all right? Like, they've clearly done the same job. They're both called assassins. Come on. I mean, this type of scenario, I'm talking about something that can potentially farm up quickly, not necessarily too greedy. Not like an Alk. I don't want to see Alk levels of greed, because that's just you're not doing anything. But they're probably going to have this Terrorblade trying to match whatever the Animage's doing in terms of farm, but they want a hero that can kind of flash farm and get active. You could, not a drown necessarily, but something in that kind of category that does have the flexibility to just go aggressive or just farm. Arc Warden, perhaps?
Arc Warden Terrorblade is terribly slow.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the build. It depends. I haven't seen too much TNC of Arc Warden. I know some teams play a lot more aggressive and active early on in the arcs, so it works out.
I think we could perhaps see something like an Ember Spirit.
That could work. That hero really only needs levels to get active. That would be even more space for the Terrorblade. Although the Nyx Assassin, yeah, that's not happening now. Cancel that thought, folks. I mean, the Kunkka made it a little bit rough, but you can work around it to an extent. But Nyx is, no, because that's a Spike Carapace on a Flame Guard and you're dead.
Let's see. If you wanna, normally I would vote for something like the Lina here, but they banned it out themselves.
It's a Kunkka matchup as well. Tiny used to be a popular one for this, and that would be your mid-game active hero for TNC.
Yeah, I could definitely see a Tiny working here, but it's not too much of an Armel staple.
That is my big concern. You can't look towards someone like OD that just gets crapped on by both Nyx and Anti-Mage, whereas the matchup otherwise would have been good.
The Nyx Assassin is definitely blocking the OD pick right now. That would have fit great. You can play that into the Anti-Mage if needed. It's not ideal.
I think they're kind of like, they're stumped on this final pick.
They're stumped as well.
Like the Nyx eliminated so many viable options that were on the table at this stage. Could see something. I mean, you don't see Viper anymore. Like, Viper wouldn't be terrible. You just don't see him anymore. He's out of favor. The hero doesn't really seem to do anything right now.
Yeah, something as boring as a DK is actually just a great pick in moments like this.
Maybe Monkey. You get active, and you're not gonna get pressured by Dazzle early on. Hopefully, unless this is a core Dazzle, in which case Monkey King is bad. Hey, there we go. Look at that. I was like, what is left here? It's like Monkey King seems like the only thing. So the only way Detonators really get a good matchup now is if they run Dazzle mid and Kunko support.
Yes, and this is definitely an Armel pick. Like both Armel and Gabby run this actually, but I expect Gabby to be on a Terrorblade.
Well, so I'm just checking, see what they do. So they are going to... okay, so looks like they're going to be accepting the Kunka as a core. He's going to be in the mid, which means that is going to be a support Dazzle. They had the option to go the other way, but I think like having Nyx plus Kunka's support combo...
Yeah, that's not a support duo. I think that forces the Nyx to position 5, and you don't want to have your Nyx place. He's already greedy as a 4, really.
Well, just the bounty hunter logic, you know? You get Vendetta and you snipe Couriers, and that is literally your life. If you get one, you've done your part for the game. But this should be interesting because I think what I'm looking at this now, and TNC and Detonator, they both have this kind of tempo control in the game for the Kunka and the Monkey King. But like I think that's where the correctly put the focus is for this game, is that mid matchup and who gets ahead, and Monkey King has an inherent advantage in that lane.
Yes, I think so as well. The fact that TNC got to counterpick 2 cores here, so Terrorblade into the Anti-Mage and then the Monkey King into the Kunka is... I think I'd give the draft win to them.
That's a fair way of looking at it. And Rio's playing the Disruptor.
Oh, okay.
That's... I just looked at it, I was like,
do you know
I'm pretty sure I recall Rio being one of the cores yesterday.
Yes.
And I was like, now I'm looking at that Disruptor core.
Well, this suits them much better, actually, because I was talking about how Disruptor is not really a Tim's hero, but they solve it like this. And core Disruptor is not only possible, I've actually favored it for a time because we used to play it on Vega. And it never really made its way out of the scrims, and I think that's a shame because it is a very powerful pickup. You get so many levels, you don't deal that much damage, but your utility is insane, and the amount of rotations you can pull off, yes. So I wanna see this.
It could be a fine line though. Of course, the issue with Disruptor is quite squishy.
Yeah.
It does seem susceptible to feeding over a lot of gold XP, but we're going to see if they can make it work. This is game 1, folks. Best of 3 ahead of us between Detonators and TNC. Everything to play for, because whoever loses this, they're out, they're done. No chance to make it to Katowice at all. And well, I've heard it's a nice place. I've heard it's the kind of place you want to go. They don't want to miss out. On the game underway, we're going to see how the lanes match up. It looks like it is going to be the Brewmaster with the Terrorblade top. And they should be up against Sam H here on the Darkseer. Now, Darkseer in this matchup, he exists. He doesn't really frustrate, right? Because you've got half uptime on ranged mode, so you don't have to worry about the aggression that comes out from the Iron Shells.
Yes, and he's going to be... like, the Terrorblade does not like the magical damage. So that's going to be a big nuisance for him. But he can still last hit. He can also still deny very well, which is very important up against the Darkseer. You need to be able to deny all those creeps that he is not last hitting himself, but that he's counting on the Iron Shell to do for him.
Of course, one of the big things that kind of led to the resurgence of Darkseer as a hero was the change to the XP denial mechanic.
Yes.
They changed that back, and as a result, this hero can get level 2. Whereas before, I remember it got ran a few times competitively, and you just saw them sitting at level 1 for a few minutes.
Oh, it's awful.
And it's like they know you got Iron Shells, so they immediately just dive through trees looking for you the whole time. Pain. Pure freaking pain.
Yes. Tim's invades top, whereas Rior wisely decides not to give all of his mana to the Anti-Mage immediately.
That's usually a good idea here. And we should probably look at this lane at the start. I think the biggest concern I've got for trying to run this Disruptor as a core especially is the Dazzle. You don't win that harassment battle and you get forced away from the wave very easily.
Yeah, and he is starting out on his own right now.
Effective trading, folks. Just like that. Just Poison Touch and 1 tap. And less mana as well.
Yep.
Yeah, they are
as long as this Anti-Mage controls the wave well, this Disruptor should get nothing. So.
They are looking top here, though. They found Sam H, but he's a little bit too tanky, and now the gist is up. We won't be able to make that move. And we've got audio
not
sense.
the first blood you're looking for.
There we go. Now people can hear us in game.
Ah, nice.
I knew I forgot something. I was like, where's the little shouty mouth in the right corner?
Where is the loud guy and a really quiet girl?
Yeah, we're here. So RR, aggressive in the top, and this is kind of thing you can actually do because Nyx does have a lot of natural regen, so you can get up in their face with the Iron Shells on you.
You tank everything, and like Gabi is in his metamorphosis right now, and he had to wait all this time to turn around.
Yeah, this is one of the few times I've watched the Frost Shield use this defensive this early on. In that manner. Like, usually at this point, you're just trying to harass someone out of the lane with it instead. Being punished a little.
But Tims has made his way to the bottom lane now. Which means that Disruptor is actually getting experience here. Although he is pretty far behind on the 2 enemy cores. Anti-Mage is almost level 3 already.
Yeah, at the same time, how do either of these guys approach the Dazzle? Poison Touch is the victor in practically every engagement early on at the moment. Meanwhile, top Sam H getting low here. Trying to move away with the Surge. It's going to be a close call. You should just be able to get a range. Ninja Boogie has no mana left and no way of eating up. No mangoes on this boy right here.
Mangoes are expensive, dude. Especially for a support.
Hey, I hear mangoes, or stock is always going up. Always buy mangoes, folks. Free at least. I didn't even do my mango war check to see who was winning that. It looks like Nyx was the winner overall.
Nyx is such a great mango. Do you say mango carrier? I was about
Mango
to say
carrier.
mango boy.
Mango carrier. You know?
He's a great
He's a
mango
mango peddler at this stage. If you got free, you're a peddler.
I don't think he's sharing any of it though. Like I wouldn't.
Hey, you could. The
His
darts.
natural regen is crazy right now.
Like, give the Darkseer 1 maybe for an Iron Shell or Surge. She's like, please save me. I need one.
Darkseer has 2 of his own. He's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, but don't you ever do that where you're like, I need mana to save you. This was your mistake. You want me to get you out of it?
No, because I'm playing the support.
All right. Well, you don't understand core negotiations. That's gold investment. TNC, they are already off to a good investment in this choice in the mid lane. 16-10 to the 10-0 of a Kunkka. Kunkka, a hero, by the way, that usually dominates, especially in the denials category with the Tidebringer.
Yes, but the Monkey King is, as we said before, a very potent counter pick. You can outskill your way out of this really bad part in the first bit of the matchup, but it's very hard. And not against Armel, you don't. He's not gonna let you do that to him, ever.
It's frustrating. Like, if you're equally matched, it's just a kind of scenario where the Monkey King just has the advantage full on. I mean, you can already see him moving on. And this is probably one of the few heroes that doesn't go not worth about an Orb of Venom if he doesn't get it right at the start. You can just pick it up 2-3 minutes in the lane, and he'll get value out of it.
And you can see that Armel pushes it to the limits, because he doesn't have to chase out the Kunkka right there, but he does because it makes sure that there's not even a torrent to pick up the range creep.
That does mean that Kunkka's beginning to fall behind. Of course, the good news for Ben here in this type of lane is that the Monkey King doesn't get a huge power spike at 6. No. However, the Kunkka does. Problem is, at this rate, he's going to need someone to rotate in just to enable a kill onto this Monkey King.
Oh, maybe he can do something with his DD room. If he gets to hit anything.
I mean, it's kind of frustrating because of the changes they made to Tidebringer and the damage type. It doesn't hit as hard as it used to. Like, they try to offset that by increasing the clear damage, but against an Agi hero that's going to build a crap ton of Wraith Bands.
And there is your rotation.
This is pretty early, though. When the creep wave pushing in, Armel just look to move away. The runes are up in 15 seconds, and Armel wants us to skewer some.
He's very close to that level 6 as well. The kill is going to put him there. And it's
I'd
not a
find
huge
one.
power spike, but it's good enough. And
Sam
Sam H is in too deep here.
He's got the Surge. They're going to move into the trees. Nice dodge
nice
coming out from Sam H, though. And that actually makes room for RR to pick up 2 runes here.
Oh, man.
Whoops.
That is a
mate.
bit too greedy from Armel. He cost his team 2 runes.
Well, that's the thing. He looked like he was going to grab both. And first blood in the bot lane here. It's Raging Potato gets caught out. There was no glimpse back. That was just death through Thunderstrikes.
That is, well, someone not respecting the damage output of the Disruptor, clearly. So you think, oh, it's just a Thunderstrike. No, this man's got everything right now.
He pays the price. And he even had 1 point in the counterspell. That's the surprising part about that. At that stage, you feel like you're pretty tanky against the Disruptor in this lane. Punishment's being made. And as a result, Raging Potato, the man who infamously was murdering everyone as an anti-mage yesterday, is the one that's going to start being murdered.
I still hold the XP advantage here, though, a little bit.
That's true. But overall, XP is starting to go in the way of TNC. You can actually already see a disparity in the middle lane that we talked about, and that should increase. Like, Kunkka only caught up to this point because Monkey King went top. Well, essentially, let's not lie, he wasted time.
Yes. I think the rotation itself was good, but the execution was lacking. Yes, Armel.
He knows what we're talking about.
Oh, he knows very well, but you gotta not dwell on that.
Like, it started off well as well, because when I looked and saw that rotation, I was like, ah, this is secure runes. They're going to get 4 runes. And then you not only miss out on the kill, you lose 2 of the 4 runes that really seemed like they should have just been yours.
And you could see the good habits there, and then unfortunately also an impulsive decision that made it not worth it. But it's something that the best mids do, and have to do more than any other player on the field, is forget about their mistakes. Because it feels brutal when you're in a mid lane, you're up 1v1. You know that everything you do wrong is something that, you know, you can't blame anyone else for that shit. So you gotta roll with it. And the ability to roll with it is what separates the good mids from, like, the mediocre mids. Or the extremely good mids.
You have to have a strong fortitude. I think especially true these days compared to the old ones. Sam H in the top getting found. RR too low to even assist with this. Ninja Boogie moving through, looking for it right now. And Armel's going to cut off here. RR going to go for the TP away. Boundless Strike comes out in time. That's a very dead next assassin.
I wouldn't say that that rotation is worth it. But then again, you wouldn't expect Sam H to... Like, this is a very uncharacteristic mistake of Sam H to just get that low in the face of a Terrorblade.
I think it's also looking at it from Armel's perspective is we said he was going to look to just control the game as it goes through the mid game. And he knows Kunkka is not making these rotations. And Kunkka is not a hero that's necessarily going to hit your tower. Yeah,
the Kunkka is in the jungle right now, stacking up to make sure that he can come back.
And people look at this as kind of a loss, but actually, I mean, Tops improved this a few days ago on Kunkka after getting trounced in lane, being so far behind. There is quite the pace, quite the rapid speed to which Kunkka can actually farm through the jungle right now with the layouts and everything.
Yes. And is one of the places where the cleave change probably does benefit him.
And of course, the thing to look at here is with the changes to the way that Kunkka functions on the Tidebringer, it has changed the way that this hero gets built. There's a lot more focus on things like the Heaven's Halberd, the Blink, the Shadow Blade. And when you're talking about those type of items against a Monkey King and a Terror Blade...
Oh yeah, that's absolutely great. I especially think that it's time for Halberd to make it come back.
And a few people have tried to do so. Fly solo in the bot lane, trouble, no points in Shallow Grave. Static Storm on the side, connects on the Ben here. Held in place, going to turn around to Armel, who uses the Boundless Strike. Maybe hits on the Anti-Mage here. The thing about going for it, Reflection comes out to slow him down. Armel dodges out with the Mischief though, and Ben here trying to body block him through. Metamorphosis committed, too much damage. Looks like Kunkka's going to go down. Can they push on the tower is the question. There's going to be a TP rotation in from Fly Solo, but that is a level 3 Dazzle. You're not feeling friend, and Armel, he still has the Jingu. Boundless Strike coming off cooldown in 3 seconds. Raging Potato needs to move away. They're going to look to move forward right here. Boundless Strike connects. Can they move in time? They have got the tree dance. But Monkey King finally going to come out of the trees. Raging Potato will fall. Fly Solo seen on the side. Blocked off by the creeps, actually. He has no way out. He's going to go down as well. And that is good value out of the Metamorphosis as they find multiple kills here, and they can even turn around and look towards the tower.
Oh yes, that was a great rotation by Gabby, and you can see that he was already TPing in before the fight started in anticipation of Detonator bringing in more people, and he was right. You know, if Detonator just refuses, if they let that tower go, then you have 4 heroes on the bot lane for basically nothing. But instead...
That's unfortunate. Sam H missed out on what he would have thought was a free kill there, as Lich had too much natural regen and lived through the Hadouken Ball.
Yeah, and Tims gets his time on the top lane now, which is also great efficiency.
Yeah, Brewmaster needs that 6, getting ever closer, half a level away, and this is the thing, TNC, they took that fight with the Disruptor ult, but you know, no Brewmaster ult here. Of course, Monkey King doesn't live on the Wukongs early on, and Dennis, they had the boat. They had the buff connecting on multiple heroes, and it made no damn difference at all. That does set a bad precedent.
It bought them a bit of time, which probably means that they got their bottom tower to live a little bit longer. But what use is that when the the Terrorblade army is at your door now?
Yeah, Armel's still down here. They're going to knock on the door of the tier 1. They know there's unlikely to be any effective trade for the side of Detonators as they chip a tiny bit on the tier 1 mid, but that's all you're going to get. That's diddly squat, really, when you think of it. And Gabby just being left to his own devices. It should be important to actually look at this right now. The Gabby is up to 5k net worth. They got him off to a fantastic start. And now, Static Storm coming down. Raging Potato's been found. Have they got enough damage? Rior in the position to ensure this kill. Boat coming in now. Multiple heroes. Stuns through from RR. Good. Disruptor getting low. Ninja Boogie should fall as well. And Armel, he'll stand his ground fight. Chain Frost comes out. Slows down Fly Solo. There's the Shallow Grave being used. Armel going to just keep life stealing up, though. They're going to be fine. as the two important heroes survive the attempt by Detonators to turn that fight.
That was very close though. But as Rior getting huge value out of that ward that is just about to time out. He's just standing there pretending like he doesn't know that the anti-mage is watching him, and then boom. His body language is so important. Just pretending, no, I don't see you there. I don't.
And
hello, Mr. Kenobi.
Well, yeah, there's one way to look at it. Just as a ward casually whistling. I don't exist here. I don't know what he's talking about. And the best part is Detonator now anticipate that. They'll probably go looking for that ward that will no longer exist. A waste of resources on that. At the same time, like Armel, you said it was close to dying. But
Right on top.
There is. Split coming out. But Tim's, he's just distracting them right now. They should realize this. Armel coming in. Looking for a kill. The gaze controls up Sam H. He's gone. Looking on to Ben here next. They might be able to catch him. And he's slowing down with Frost Blast, but instead they got the Cyclone up on Anti-Mage. And they lock him in place. The gaze not used in time. Torrent does cover the escape of Raging Potato.
He didn't have his gaze because he was channeling that on the Darkseer before.
Yeah, it's a long cooldown.
Which is very clever actually. Did you see that he gazed from behind the trees and then the Darkseer got stuck?
Yep, that's the way that ability does work in interesting ways. You can actually cliff people with it if you're in the right position.
I'm gonna try that.
It's pretty entertaining. But I mean,
I could spend the whole game just trying to
that's just my one goal. I don't care if I win or lose. I'm gonna cliff someone. Like, you were that person that saw the Rubik clips and went straight to that, weren't you?
Yes, and then it turned out that I sucked at Rubik.
It's one way to learn. But the thing I was going to hit on is, like, you talked about in that last big fight how close it was to Armel. Oh, pause the fort. They go for Anti-Mage hit. Not long enough, though, with the gaze. They're going to move through. Armel looking onto this. He needs a few more taps. And Raging Potato, he hasn't leveled the blink enough. He's going to go down.
I guess that makes it worth it, but I am a little bit disappointed in them spending that much time on the side lane when there's 4 heroes in mid, punching down their mid tower.
I think they're just trying to amplify the Monkey King, because like the point that I can now get to, because TNC, they've stopped killing each other, right? Is this Monkey King, this is his most vulnerable phase. If he gets past this uncontested, this hero becomes unstoppable.
And he is well on his way to taking over the game right now. There's been so much space made for Terrorblade, but in the form of kills for the Monkey King himself, that is really ramping up fast now.
He's not doing too bad on net worth, over 1,000 gold ahead of the Kunkka that he was laning against to begin with. And a lead is already built for TNC as they move in, pushing.
He put his Echo Saber in, so this is the return.
He's on his way. Tim's going deep here, by the way. He doesn't even have to split for 15 seconds. Glimpse back into the Static Storm. Ben here brings in the boat to protect himself, forces Tim to actually dodge it out. Now Armel finally arriving in the fight. Can they find anyone? Here's the question. RR still standing in the Vendetta, looking for an opportunity, but Gabby just surrounds the tower with him and his illusions and makes sure that no one contests it. Tim's caught out here, going to go for the stun on him. He's got the split. Will he get a chance to use it as a question? It's going to be close, but no cigar. Meanwhile, top, Armel did got to deal with Raging Potato. Moving across right now, he slowed him a lot. Blink coming off cooldown. Armel needs another touch. And he go for the spring. It looks like his Anti-Mage is going to be a little bit too far away. No, he's just out of range. Armel will be frustrated because by going top, look what happens bot. RR actually going to be the one caught out here as they still keep up the aggression. You could see Detonators trying to make a move off the back of Monkey King not being there. That just didn't matter.
Kunkka was already back in base.
Yeah, you can't dance like that, not without the Kunkka. Kunkka's crucial here. And he's building that halberd we talked about, by the way.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that moment where Tim's goes all the way in, he's not only giving vision, but he's also zoning everyone. Gabby could just hit the tower, like there was nothing going on.
Meanwhile, Armel is zoning, wink wink.
So it's a very worthwhile sacrifice, because that way the enemy doesn't get a fight at all. Sure, they get a kill, but you get the tower and you get to not have to face all of those defensive abilities being used against you. They're not getting in range, they have no way to close the gap.
And you still have the split, which they can go use now. Tim's wrapping around again, the same location. Armel's nearby this time. He has the Jingu, he wants an opportunity to use it with the Boundless Strike. Vacuum gets him out of the trees, though. He's going to move across in time. Sam H will just melt to this boat coming in the 2. But have they got the damage? They don't want to commit. Armel and Tim still looking pretty healthy here at half HP. X on the Tims. Draw back into Torrent. They can't commit properly for this, though. Actually, Kinetic Field connects on RR. Pale will not land onto the Brewmaster. Just a little bit of poking back and forth. But the real winner here is Gabby, who's just poking away at that bottom tower.
Yeah, and this is TNC showing off that they have more than just this insane fighting ability. That is a DD for Arm. Oh, is he taking it or is he? No.
He's leaving it for Gabby. Oh, wait, no, okay. I thought he was going to give it Gabby. Gabby had Metamorphosis coming off cooldown. So they could actually look towards Roche at this stage with that.
I think Gabby is a bit like, bro, why are you going to do that right now?
Why are you doing this? Metamorphosis efficiency, folks.
Sir? My DD? Are you going to farm with that?
Apparently so. Monkey King's got to get towards his Maelstrom.
Yeah. And Tim's is actually just continuing on into this tanky role instead of making any progress towards, say, a Blink Dagger.
I mean, it's really picked up at the moment. Vlad's is much higher for Brewmasters these days. Smoke movement, though. Flies solo. He doesn't realize how much trouble he's in. Moving in right now. Glimpse back. Why go looking for the kill? The kill could come to you. Shallow Grave's going to be used. Look for the TP away. No chance, though. The Gaze controls him up. And they already go on the hunt looking for more kills. They're feeling greedy right now. Ben here. They see RR as well. No, Dust didn't touch, but will come out with the double stun. Now Tim's to the split, looking forward on to Ben here. Trying to make sure that this Kunkka cannot move away. Still hasn't thrown out the boat yet. He'll finally commit it. Needs to be careful. Torrent coming through. Wukong's gets committed. Ben here. Surged out, though. He's going to be fine. They can look towards his tab, but the glimpse back. There it is. Catches on the Ben here. He exits just in time to be able to escape. Now Cyclone on the side. Dark's here. He saves the life of his mid, but he may give his own. Vacuum drags them down, but too much damage done from this Terrorblade.
That was an excellent TNC team fight on two fronts again. They drive a wedge in between the two parties. Split off towards one side, towards the other. Then when people escape on one side, they just collapse on the other and get the tower as well.
That's the thing. TNC, they are making all the moves in Detonators. This is kind of the crux of that anti-mage pick, who, by the way, still does not have the Battle Fury completed.
Oh, no. Like, we saw this before, right? I was questioning Raging Potato's tendency to fight on that hero, and it worked out for him beautifully in the previous series. But not so much here.
0-4-0, definitely not here. As a result, TNC quickly taking control of this game. There are only 2 out of towers remain for Detonators, and you had to contemplate the possibility that TNC just walk into the Roche pit soon without really anything to contest. I mean, you've got Boat, you've got Vacuum, but do you have the damage?
There's going to be another split in a minute. Metamorphosis at the same time, as usual. And there's always the Static Storm to contend with as well. At the very least, there's no way for Detonators to go for the Roche themselves.
It should also be highlighted that Tim's he did just get 10. He's got the health talent. Now, you were almost failing to kill him before he got a split out before. Now he's definitely getting those splits out.
And as you correctly said before, he is nearly to that Vlads already. He's going to be this super tanky frontliner for his team. Everyone's going to have so much sustain just off of him alone.
At the same time, Rio is identifying that he needs a Shadow Blade. I was wondering if he'd just a Russian Ags or a 4-star, but instead we're going to see a disruptive Shadow Blade at this rate.
Oh, yes.
A little bit different. Usually you see the Glimmer Cape as the more regular choice.
When but that's for supports.
But you can still make it work as like a core in this like utility scenario with the amount of magic damage. I can see it.
Yeah, you have Tim's for that. They're so far ahead. He doesn't.
That's Tim's job. He has to do it. That's like excuse every time. It's like, this would be a good item. Let him get it. I want something that's more like kill people.
I do want to see a 4-staff somewhere at some point, because if they want to go siege high ground, that is one of the most important items to get. The repositioning ability in that small space is invaluable, truly.
Problem is when you're against a Kunkka, it's like hard to save people because the X. You could try it though, you wait for the torrent to hit, that is one way to do it. If you're looking to save yourself, there is always Yules some of these heroes could build into. Does set up onto the anti-mage fairly well, in some ways.
Well, yes. Like, the value of a 4-staff is in that it's not just only a save for yourself, it's also a save for someone else. So you can be saved while disabled because your teammate is using it.
Don't forget you can murder someone with it as well. There are options, there are possibilities here.
I've seen that one go wrong more often than right.
It takes, it takes a lot of practice. It's something I think the only person I've seen so confident about it constantly is Arise. Arise is probably like the guy who
that man is a
obsessed with
4-staff master, yes. And
but it proves
with reason, yeah. I think.
I mean, it proves if you take the time, like the impact it can have.
People think I am overly enthusiastic about 4-staffs, but no, I think people underrate it.
Just there, like some premium 4-star food.
I can, you know, you can go hype about good spell usage. If I see a great 4-staff save, I will just go.
Skips goes crazy.
Injected directly into my veins.
Well, instead of directed in your things, TNC are directed into Detonator's things, specifically their base. Tim's already going in. Split comes out just before the Impale. Whoops. That will just be an immediate abort. Cyclone coming out of the Kunkka so they're not disrupted as they go for this tower. A long time in the air for Kunkka. Will finally come down. They'll get the tower. They'll move away. The wall does get dropped. TNC will laugh it off as there's no price to pay. Animage tried to go on the split push, but he only just picked up his Battle Fury. He's not exactly doing this fast.
Yeah, Detonator had no intention of actually defending that. The anti-mage was still farming. He is still farming in the enemy jungle. He's correctly identified the only place where TNC is not going to find him. And TNC very correctly... Normally you see people wait for like the end of the Aegis to push, but here they realize that they can get 2 pushes out of this. And also that it's important to stay grouped, because this Nyx assassin
is on his way to a Monkey King kill. They're finally going to turn and look on the Armel. He needs to actually get in the trees in time. Balance Strike comes out. Your only choice really is to fight, or is it? He cuts the tree in time, trying to move away, turns into a tree. No, the torrent just in time before he can use the tree dance coming off cooldown.
And really very disciplined there from Detonator. Everyone holds their blows. This kill goes to Anti-Mage.
He definitely could have done with it. 500 extra gold. The money should add up quickly. He needed it. He is now the richest person on his team, which compared to about 3 minutes ago, this is looking a little bit less boring for Detonator. Still behind, of course.
Yes. As like we already said in the draft, your idea about the anti-mage is that you're going to peak above the Terrorblades sometimes because you expect to farm faster. And he isn't. Straight up isn't. I don't think he's ever catching up to Gabby.
That's kind of the thing. Like you can talk about Terrorblades, like, yeah, you know, he's been amped up by all this tower gold they've taken. But he's got so much gold now that he can efficiently farm the jungle.
Yes.
So it's not really, okay, he's going to slow down now. Now he's just going to keep that pace and continue to gain gold at a similar rate.
He's just going to be faster. And we have a problem in this game that anti-mages normally don't have. Usually you can split push fairly uncontested on an anti-mage, but we've seen Raging Potato blink away before he was at a tower time and time again. Just because Rior is off the map all the time.
Not just Rior, the threat of Armel is always in his fort. It's like the moment you blink, if he's where you're waiting, you're dead. A Monkey King at this stage will kill an anti-mage in that small window of time.
Boots of Travel on Rior. Easily paying off here.
He's always ready to go. X being used defensively by Ben here to just clear the wave. But they immediately go in and go, alright, that's enough time.
It's the same trick as we saw yesterday, right?
Oh, vacuum. Gabby doesn't care about his illusion. Torrent's on him as well. Now the Static Storm dropped on Sam H. The Wukongs comes out as well. Looking on the darks here. The boat comes in. Gabby with the BKB going to look to fight. Shallow Grave out on Sam H as he surges away. But Ben here being slowed down. The Chain Frost bounces across to him. Can they do enough damage? The boat buff is about to run out. He's going to be in trouble. Split is committed.
Does Tim's realize?
A little bit too deep. They don't want to do it. They say, actually, we've zoned them off the racks. Just take them instead. And there will be no price to pay if they move away.
Tim's absolutely loves this. Just being up in everyone's faces, running around. You can't kill me.
There's no punishment for him. And like at this rate, by the time they have the damage to deal with him, he's going to have level 20 talent, and that's going to be a nice big chunk of extra health for his Primal Split units.
Yes, and Rior is... He's sitting on a huge pile of gold. Oh, no, he is going into the Shadow Blade now. I was about to say, this is about the time where he should start making a decision about which one of those 2 items he wants. But he went back to base. He bought the Shadow Amulet. So we're going to see that Shadow Blade Disruptor soon.
Armel? Armel? He's in trouble here. Being chased onto Raging Potato, though, as he got just... He might be the one get jumped here, actually. He needs to be careful. Shallow Grave comes out very early. He almost got the kill on the Monkey King there. Identified the right tree. And he held the Mana Void maybe a little bit too long here. That would have killed Armel as well.
That was very close. That's the Raging Potato we'd like to see.
Sadly, either he didn't do the math or he didn't trust the math. Misses out on what would have been a huge kill for him.
But this should give TNC a bit of pause because they were playing a little bit more, you know, flippantly again.
They were getting pretty loose.
They just got a warning.
Yeah, they have to be aware of how susceptible Armel is to getting jumped like that. Just a preview. If you're not the one doing the moves first, Monkey King is a very squishy hero.
Yes, and he did actually opt for a Maelstrom.
Yes, he did. He did jump into that a little bit back. It's helped somewhat with farm. He didn't want to wait for the level 20, which is the other way to look at farming, where you get the Primal Spring damage and you just basically insta-push waves. Boat in the river. Oh no, Static Storm coming down. Brewmaster being protected. The Drunken Hate just in time. Gonna actually be dragged back into this, trying to move away. Sam H getting a little bit low. Will be able to move away on the back foot though. Ah, it's not so lucky. Spike Carapace buys him some time, but he's surrounded on all sides. This Drunken Brawler just baited the side of Detonator in.
It is such a difficult thing because you have Tim's up in your faces all the time, right? He's just taunting you. He's rolling around on that barrel, being like, ha ha ha, you can get him. Get me. And then in these moments where he's walking alone in the river, or you think, I talked about this yesterday. Solo does it all the time too. Like, am I just alone? Or are there 4 heroes behind me waiting to jump?
And
but as long as you're in people's head, they're going to take you anyway. And there were 4 people behind him.
And he just sticks this gem in his inventory, and for the side of Detonators, it's like, this is an opportunity too good to pass up. Screw the risks. What's the worst that could happen? Well, I'll tell you what the best is that could happen. You only lose your Nyx, because that could have been 10 times worse the way that was playing out.
Oh, yeah.
Still, Anti-Mage needing more time. Still in the opponent's jungle, just trying to shove things out. Rio did just show top, and they pinged for it. They might try for this kill, but it would be pretty adventurous.
I don't think Anti-Mage is going to kill him. He's going to get glimpsed back, and then Rior is going to walk out with his Shadow Blade. And in the meanwhile, TNC is pushing bottom. Rior is just going to join them with his Boots of Travel. His only purpose was to keep that lane out so that the Anti-Mage can split push. And now he's coming in on the next wave on bot.
Absolutely. Nick's still just prowling around with the Vendetta. He actually needs to get back for the defense as well, because soon Gabby will be hitting that high ground. He does have the Metamorphosis available.
And a full Butterfly.
Don't forget that big, juicy BKB. Still on a 9-second charge. And the range means he's not even really friend. Crimson Guard being used, but it still hurts the tower. And this damage is adding up pretty damn quickly. You need to stop this.
I don't think they can.
Finally, Animage is coming back. They realize they need everyone. Tim's going in. Split's instantly going to come out looking on Ben here. They can stun him up, but actually straight under the racks, they say. That's the primary target. Sam H moving in with a vacuum in the wall. Doesn't do enough now. Reflection coming out, looking on him. A lot of damage done to Sam H in return. Now, Wukong's command. Armel holds onto it. Doesn't want to throw it out just yet. Finally going to commit it down now. The X will not disrupt him. Ben here, stunned, locked in place, can't get down in time. Shallowgrave comes out. They've already lost the Nyx though. On the side, Raging Potato with the BKB defensively and goes down to Gabby's right clicks. And it looks like they're going to find more. Sam H falls as well as the Static Storm is committed and they're running out of heroes.
They're running out of buildings.
They're going to run out of all the buildings. Gabby moves straight mid. They identify they can finish. The buyback coming out for Anti-Mage means diddly squat because he doesn't have a BKB and he does not have the damage right now to fight up against Gabby. Now, more sense. This is your best opportunity. If you're going to make the move, it's going to be now. The stunned up, Anti-Mage in trouble. Blinks away just in time. Shallowgrave is there, but the glimpse back. They catch him again. No, Rio on point. The gaze dragging him in as Anti-Mage falls, and it looks like it's going to be over. TNC, they claim victory in game 1 as Detonator is GG out.
Very convincingly. I mean, Banner could have X'd his Anti-Mage at the end there, but what was the point? Really? It
really wouldn't have made a difference there. Like, the moment the Anti-Mage used the BKB and then just bought back, you knew it was looking grim because they hadn't even put a dent in the side of TNC in that fight.
He melted. The vac wall was their best opportunity, but the reflection just gets popped. The illusions, well, there's a battle of illusions against illusions instead of the illusions actually killing any of TNC's side. And I'm thinking that this Darkseer pick as a counter to the TB is not as good as they were hoping.
Yeah, it didn't really starve him off at all. In fact, he had a great start. Armel even amplified that with the ganks. And I think the real hero here, like in my opinion, is Rio, the way he played on the Disruptor. Because I was looking at his fights, and every time Detonator's win condition for a fight was eliminate Disruptor first. And Rio's positioning throughout all the fights, whether he was dangling in front or hanging far back, you couldn't find him.
So much distance on that hero. And they were always getting bonus kills. After everything, you just get that little extra push. It is a very enjoyable way to play, but you gotta have 2 very strong cores that you can stand behind. And in this case, they also had Tim's, who was basically a 4th core, just standing out in the front. And there's no way they're gonna focus on a Disruptor when there's a Brewmaster with the split in front of your face, when there's Gabby hitting everyone, when there's a Monkey King running amok. So that was a brutally hard game for Detonator, and I don't think that they had much chance even if they played it that better.
Yeah, I think it's especially important you hit on Tim's, and it's like this is becoming more popular. We've seen it grow over the past few months, several months in fact, is Strength Force. Like this, it used to always be Sand King, Shaw, and Earthshaker. these heroes like Brewmaster moving in that role. Tiny is another hero.
Yep.
It's just so much damage you soak up, and it's opportunity investment. It's like you're looking at it going, okay, we can kill him if we invest 60% of our resources.
Yeah.
But then there's 3 cores,
or support,
and we're committing 60% for support.
The important balance to strike here, as you know, if you're Tims, is you need to be up in their faces enough that they can't ignore you. So you have to not be afraid to die, because you know it's always worth it. Because they can decide to just put those 60% out there. But as we saw in the mid-tower fight, that just means that your team gets everything basically uncontested. And a mistake that a lot of players make there is that they're like, yes, I'm tanky, but I don't want to die. I'm having a good game. It's like, no, you are a tool. You are like an enforcer, a break iron. We just shove you in there and we break open the door. But yeah, you're going to get dented.
Just there screaming at your boss for, you are disposable!
Yes, you are. And it's like, and Tims is really enjoying that he can just go do what he wants to do, which is hit people in the face.
And TNC already on their way to disposing of Detonators. 1 game up, but still more to be decided. We're going to go to a short break, then we'll return with game 2 to see if TNC can just slam at 2-0, or if Detonators are going to try and force TNC to implode again. Stay tuned, folks.